How do I find my passion? How do I start loving what I do? And how do I find out what I love to do? These are some of the many questions that we have. And if you're one of them who has these questions, then you have come to the right place because we'll be answering them right in this video. Stay tuned. Do you want to achieve success? I'm sure you do. And do you think that the work you're doing right now will help you achieve the success you desire? Think over this question. Think carefully and answer honestly. Will the work you are doing right now help you achieve the success you desire or not? Write your answer down in the comments below. I would love to know what you think. Now, why did I ask this question, you may wonder? That's because all of us do want to achieve success, but many times the kind of work we do and the kind of things we do not allow us to achieve the success we desire. Many people want to be social creators. Many people want to create a social impact and help people who are below them to rise and become equal. Many people have philanthropist mindsets, but most of them are stuck doing unfulfilling work in 9-to-5 jobs just because they pay the bills. It's the same case with entrepreneurs. Many entrepreneurs are afraid to take big risks because they don't know whether they'll achieve success or whether they'll end up broke. They have the security of their 9-to-5 unfulfilling jobs that pay the bills. And again, it's the same story with artists and creators. Many people want to get onto the digital world. Many people want to become social influencers. Many people want to pursue their passion, and many people also want to create art. But what stops them? The fear of losing stability, and also then they are stuck in their unfulfilling 9-to-5 jobs just because they pay the bills. We all have immense potential inside of us. We all can do so many great things, and there is no barrier that can stop us no matter what. I'm repeating this again. There is no barrier that can stop us no matter what. All we need is the commitment and dedication to do so. But you may be thinking, what do I even do? I am doing some work right now. Maybe I'm studying in college, I'm pursuing a degree, I'm studying in high school, I'm doing different subjects, I'm doing academics, or I'm stuck in a 9-to-5 job, I'm doing some work, I'm not doing some work. How do I even find out what I want to do with so many things going around in my mind? I can understand that. Even I was at that position. I did not have clarity about what I wanted to do. And that is what we are going to explore in this video. Together, we are going to go through a process. Yes, understanding what you want to do, understanding your purpose is a process. It's an active process, not just an epiphany that comes out of nowhere. It is something you create, it is something you purposefully discover. How to do that? That's what we are about to learn. So, are you ready to achieve your fullest potential, and are you ready to find out what you love to do, find out your passion, find out your purpose, and achieve the best in life? Then go now, grab a journal, grab a pen, and let's start this awesome journey of discovering our passion, our purpose together. This is a 3-step process that we'll go through. So grab your pen, grab your journal, and let's get ready. So, do you have your pen and journal ready? I'm sure you do. And let's begin with the first step. The first step is to reflect and write. When we write something down, it takes solid form and it appears in front of us. And all the fuzzy thoughts suddenly start to take structure. When we see our thoughts on a secondary source, what we feel is, okay, these are some new thoughts. We see it from an external perspective and we are able to analyze them better. Writing has great power, and that power is what I recently covered in my blog post on why is journaling important, for which the link will also be in the description. When we are confused about what to do, when we don't know what to do, and when we are stuck in something that doesn't make us feel fulfilled, we know that we have to change, but we don't know how to do that. We don't know why to do that. We don't know how to do that. These questions are all fuzzy in our minds. Many thoughts run here. One time you may be thinking about snakes. The other time you may be thinking about how your job sucks. And the other time you may be thinking about the family dinner you're about to have this evening. These are so many different thoughts you have. And in this wild jungle, clearly understanding yourself and clearly contemplating yourself can be difficult. It's like a foggy, fuzzy road on which there seems no end in sight. It's like that tunnel so long that you can't see the light at the end of it. There's fog, there's darkness, there's unending sorrow. That's what we feel when the thoughts are going in our mind. But when they appear on the page, when that ink etches the page, and when that ink creates verse and structure, that's when the fog starts to dissipate. That's when the sun starts to rise and breaks into dawn, and that's when the light at the end of the tunnel appears. This is the power of writing. When you reflect and write, you gain much more clarity than just thinking. How to do that? Let's understand. So, this is my journal. From the past 2 years, I have been journaling, and this is my third journal. So, every day what I do is that I just open this up, I write my thoughts on every page, and I just write 3 things that made me smile today. I write random thoughts, whatever comes to my mind at that time. It is not necessarily let's say the log of a day. It's not just a sequence of events that I note down. It's just anything that comes to my mind at that time. When our mind is all fuzzy and confused, that is the first step that we need to take. We need to understand ourselves, and we understand ourselves better by writing. So what do you need to do? The journal or the notebook that you have in your hand right now. After watching this video, open the page, pick up the pen, and simply start writing whatever comes to your mind. Whether it is what you learned from this video, whether something new you did today, or any random thought that arises. Your mind will be flush with so many thoughts. I've gone through that feeling. The first time I wrote, I was confused. I didn't know what I was writing about, but I was like, I will just write. There were so many thoughts running in my mind, and I was like, should I write this? Should I write that? I was confused, but I just wrote and wrote. That's what I did. And that's what you have to do. You'll feel confused. You'll feel judgmental of your own thoughts. But you don't have to do anything. You write those thoughts down, and if you don't like them, simply tear that page off, throw it into the dustbin. Done. But at least you started writing your thoughts on the paper, and that's what matters. Slowly and steadily, you'll see that your writing is gaining structure, that your thoughts are gaining structure, and that your thoughts are becoming easier to understand for yourself. You are understanding yourself better, and that's when comes the path to reflect and actually think upon what you want to do. So around the end of April this year, what I did was I picked out a few yellow sheets, which I'll just show you right now. So these are the few yellow sheets that I picked out. And what I did was I picked up this big bold sheet and I wrote my life on top of it. After that, I wrote my purpose. What do I want to do? And I did not stop myself. I just let the pen flow into the paper. I did not create any kind of gap between my thoughts and what went down here and it wrote. I just let all my desires, all my dreams, all of them come to paper. And I wrote I want to be an author, a best-selling one. I want to be a digital coach and the best motivational speaker. I want to be a great motivational speaker. I want to become an entrepreneur in the health and nutrition field. And I want to provide great mental and physical health advice and health guidance to people. I understood all of that. I just wrote whatever thoughts were in my mind. I did not care whether they were linked, they were not linked. I just wrote. And you know what? These yellow sheets have now become the guiding principles of my life. I now have all my thoughts over here and what I want to do. And it is giving me freedom. It is enlightening me. It is making me free. It's just as if a caged bird is allowed to fly in the open sky once again. That is the kind of happiness, that is the kind of freedom that I felt after doing this. So what do you need to do? First of all, just start writing anything that comes to your mind at this moment. This will allow you to gain control over your thoughts. This will allow you to embrace the present moment, no matter how good or bad it may seem. This will allow you to face vulnerability. This will allow you to face uncertainty and the most uncomfortable thoughts of yours. And then pick any sheet you want, pick any notebook you want, and pick any page you want, and simply write down all you want to do. Write down all your desire, whether they seem greasy, whether it's like I want to have a house on Venus, or I want to go to a place where it rains diamonds. Whatever it is, keep those crazy ambitions out, write them on paper. I'm telling you, you have to become a child once again. When you ask children, they say that we want to go to the moon, or we want to do this, we want to do that. They have good ambitions, they have great ambitions. They think and they imagine. And that's what you need to do again. You need to become an innocent child. You need to let your imagination flow wildly into the world of unicorns, into the world of fairy tales. It's just that this time the unicorns and the fairy tales are the ones you create consciously for your own life. That's what you need to do. That is the first step to understanding and discovering your passion, to following your passion, to developing your passion, and to understanding your purpose. When you write, you will gain clarity. I'm repeating the statement again. When you write, you will gain clarity. Where do you think the world would be if Newton hadn't thought, why did this apple fall from the tree? Also, where do you think we would be if Bill Gates hadn't thought of, can I make a computer that will make people's lives easier? Where do you think we would be if science hadn't made so many great discoveries and that we did not have many great innovations like PayPal and Tesla and SpaceX? These are just some of many examples where a simple question and a simple thought led to so many great discoveries. And that's the second thing you need to do to discover your passion, to follow your passion, and to find what your purpose is. You need to be curious. You need to ask questions. You need to try and find answers. And if there isn't any, then you can find that answer by discovering and going through a process yourself. This is curiosity. And when you understand the power of curiosity, you will be able to discover much more, do much more, achieve much more, and live much more better. Let me give you my example. I had a vague idea that I wanted to inspire people and help people when in 2018 and in 2017. So about 3-4 years ago, I had that vague idea about who I wanted to become. And then I thought, yes, I want to become a motivational speaker when I was in 6th grade. But at that time, I just let that idea pass out. And then in July 2019, I was just talking to my mom regarding 21st century digital skills. I had a question. What are these 21st century digital skills? Like, how can they impact my life? I was curious. I asked a question. And you know what? That is the impact that changed my life forever. That simple question, what are 21st century digital skills and how can they impact me? That question has led to where I am today. I discovered that blogging was a 21st century digital skill. And I was like, okay, these are the things that people do. Like they blog, they create videos, and they create digital content, and that is understood somewhere vaguely as 21st century digital skills. And at that evening, I thought, okay, this sounds fun. I opened up a free website and I wrote my first blog post on habits. That's where my journey as a content writer, as a self-help author, and as the speaker started. And now here I am in front of you, talking to you in this video, connecting to you through this video and sharing this story with you. If I had not thought of this question, if I had not enacted upon it, and if I had not taken action, you wouldn't know who Prabhsimrat Gill is. I wouldn't be making this video, and I would just be a normal kid doing unimpactful things and just living my life day by day without any purpose. That's who I would be. That's who I would be if I had not been curious, if I had not asked questions, and if I had not tried to find the answers. That is the power of questioning and the power of curiosity. Only one single question, only one single thought and one single idea has the power to completely transform your life. It is only up to you that whether you enact upon it or not, whether you go deeper into it or not, and whether you turn it into your passion and your purpose or not. Now that we have understood the 2 out of 3 steps, it's time for the final one. And this is one of the most impactful and this is one of the most powerful steps. You need to start with why. Simon Sinek has written a great book on this and it is titled Start With Why, and I highly recommend that you read it. In this book, he gave us a simple diagram of what, why, and how. So in this diagram, what we have is, as you can see, we have a big circle and the outer layer of it is named what. Then inside that we have the second circle which has how, and inside that how we have the core which is the why. Let's go from the outside to inside. So when we have that what, we all basically know, yes, what we are doing. If I ask you, what job do? You know that you're a chartered accountant, you're an engineer, you are a teacher, you're whatever you do. Whether you're a student, you study. Whether you're pursuing a degree, so what you do, you research and you study. So you know, that is the most evident part of it. That is the most evident part. Like, you know what you do. That is the most definable. You can define it, you can understand it, you can see it. So it's the most easy to understand. A little deeper of that is how you do it. The process. Everybody talks about, we all talk about, you need to find your purpose. We know what. We need to find our purpose. We need to find our passion. That is the what. And the how is this process that I am explaining to you. So we are currently on depth level number 2. And that depth level number 2 means that we are on the how stage. And in this how stage, we think about the process, the way we do something. For example, in this, the process is these 3 steps. Taking the first step, then the second step, and then the third step. This is the process, how you do it. And after this process comes the third stage. That is why. Why are you doing something? What is your purpose behind it? What is your reason behind it? And this is where most of us lag. This is the most undefined category because it is subjective. It is not definite and in physical form. It is in our emotions. It is in our thoughts. The why is deeply engraved within us. The reason is deeply within us. And we don't need to look outside. We don't need to look at what other people are doing, what other companies are doing, what other job seekers are doing, or what other entrepreneurs are doing. We need to look at our center, and from there we discover our why. So I discovered this really interesting analogy to compare with this diagram of what, how, and why. When you think of the earth, there are 4 different structures to it. On the outermost layer, there is the crust and the mantle. After that, we have the outer core, and after that, we have the inner core in the center of the earth. So, what do we do here? The most definable parts are the crust and the mantle, because we see mantle through volcanic eruptions and the magma and all. So we can see some part of the mantle. It is definable, and we can also see the crust because we are on the crust right now. We're on that thin solid plate, and that is also the most definable part. So when we compare it to what, it is very similar. We know that, and it is easily definable. Then comes the outer core. We really haven't seen the outer core. We haven't really gone deep into it. but we know that it exists and that it plays a role, and that it is there between the magma and the crust. So after the magma and the crust, we have the outer core. So we know of that existence. That is the how. We can somewhat define it, but we cannot fully define it like the what. But we know that yes, it is there. And after that comes the inner core, that is the why. It is the part we haven't seen it all. We just imagine it to be a certain way. We are, out of the scientific discoveries we have done, we prototype it and we understand it that way, but we haven't been able to reach till that level right now. It is way too deep inside. It's the same with our why. But you know what? The inner core is a very important part because it contains the magnetic materials like iron, cobalt and nickel that generate the Earth's magnetic and gravitational field, and that holds everything together into a circle. That is the power of why, and that is why you must start with why. The why and the purpose, like the inner core, is the core foundation, is the first solid foundation that is important to construct your building of success. You can make your building as tall as possible. You can make it reach 1,000 floors, 2,000 floors. But if the foundation isn't strong enough, a simple storm would wither it down. A simple storm would crush it down to its death. That's what happens when we aren't clear on our why, when we aren't clear on our purpose, and we just do something because we want to maybe earn the money, we want to live the rich life that is shown on social media and all. We just want to live the definition of success that is defined by society, having a lot of wealth and all. We may do that, but if we aren't true to our purpose, if we don't really know why we are doing something, the foundation won't be strong and the building will wither away very soon. If the inner core wasn't there, if the gravitational force of the earth wasn't there, the crust would be on Venus, the magma would be on Mars, the outer core would be flying in Jupiter, and the inner core, it wouldn't exist. Like, it does not have the power, so it would just roam around here. Everything would be scattered. Can you relate to this feeling? When we aren't clear on our why, the how, the process and the what, everything is scattered. Our thoughts are fuzzy, our thoughts are unclear, our thoughts are confusing. And that leads us back to the first step again, where we understood how to clarify our thoughts. That is why understanding your why, understanding your purpose is important. How do you do that? It's simple. You need to ask yourself, what matters the most to me? What values are the most dear to me? You don't need to look out to anyone else. You don't need to look at someone else's values. You don't need to look at Bill Gates' values. You don't need to look at Jeff Bezos' values. You need to look at your values. Those are what define you and those are what make you unique. My values are, for example, I want freedom. I want to create an impact. I want to be helpful. I want to be empathetic. I want to be supportive. I want to be growing. I want to be constantly growing, and I want to constantly achieve excellence. Excellence, growth, empathy, freedom, joy, fulfillment are all my core values. That is what I've situated my work around. I'm creating these videos so that even when I'm not here, even when I'm not on this earth, my impact still surrounds this world. My core message still surrounds this world, and that my mission still surrounds this world. Why am I writing books? I want to spread my message of freedom. I want to spread my message of growth, and I want to create that lifestyle for myself where I'm able to truly live that. You need to understand these core values, and after you understand these core values, then you need to start defining the how and the what. That is how you proceed. So when I understood these concepts, I was fascinated. I was like, this is something cool. This is something interesting. And that's what I inculcated in myself. I reflected on these thoughts. I understood them. And as I went through my journey, I came to clarify my purpose as helping and inspiring people to unleash their fullest potential so that they can lead a life of happiness, joy, and fulfillment. That is my why. That is my purpose. And my how and my what surround that core. I have built my strong foundation, and the higher I go in achieving success, in fulfilling my purpose, the more attached I will become to my why, because that's where I started from, and the deeper my foundation will become. Let's take an example of Sundar Pichai. Why do you think he is the CEO of Google? Do you think that's because he's the best coder? No, everybody knows that there would be many other highly qualified coders in Google, and those are doing the technical aspect of the things. Then why is Sundar Pichai chosen as the leader? Well, that's because he's an empathetic one. He connects with people. His values may be empathy, connection, helping others, supporting others, and those values make him perfect for the leadership role. Well, somebody whose values are I want to build something, I want to create something, and I want to do something that creates a change. So they are more inclined to manufacturing and doing. Those people would make better coders at Google. This is how we need to understand our why. We need to start with this core in our mind and then expand and surround that further. When the earth was formed, it was a blazing rock, it was a blazing fire, and then it cooled down. It started from the core and then it spread. Now the outer crust is cooled down, but the core is still very hot. That's how you grow from inside to outside, from micro to macro. That's what's called growth. Macro to micro is called ungrowing. It's called capacitating yourself. It's called limiting yourself. But when you grow from small to big, that's growth. And when you start from why, you go from that small to that big. And when you start from other peripherals, you grow from outside to inside. And that, my friend, is not a pleasant journey, is not a fulfilling journey. Finding your purpose, finding your passion, and doing all of that is easy. You need to keep these 3 steps in mind. Write down your thoughts, clarify your thoughts, and then think over your why. Be curious, ask questions, try out new things. If you come across something as blogging, open up a page, open up a blogspot page. It doesn't cost you any money. You just have to try it out. If you want to try an internship, just send out that cold email. Maybe that person will respond, maybe that person won't, but at least you tried. That's how you build your way up to discovering your passion, and it's not an instant thing. I did not know my full passion until I was about 8 to 9 months into blogging. I then only last year, when the lockdown happened, that's when I deeply understood what I wanted to do. I was just like, okay, yeah, I want to write a self-help blog. I'll do that every week. That was my idea. But then I discovered my core. So you need to try out new things, you need to do new things, and your why will start becoming clear, and your passion and the thing you love to do will start becoming clear. That's how you will prosper, that's how you will grow, and that's how you will build a high building of success with thousands and thousands of low. But mind you, you will also have a deep foundation that will support that building. No matter how strong of a storm comes, you will persist, you will grow through that, and you will come out stronger. That's the power of these 3 steps. I have experienced it. You don't need to look at any books or any other thing to find the examples. I am here as an example right in front of you. This is all you need to do. Now, after watching this video, what do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Another thing I want you to do is send me an email. Do this exercise. Write down your thoughts. Start clarifying. Start this journaling practice. Then be curious and do these new things. And I want to give you a task. This Friday, after 4 days, a new video will be coming out. Before that, I want you to do these 3 things. Start thinking over them and send me an email. I will respond to you. I will connect with you, and then I'll be able to guide you better. I want you to take this action, and through this, we'll build this amazing community. We will grow this whole aspect of personal development that we are trying to build here. You will grow, I will grow, you will learn, I will learn, and we will connect on a better level. So that's your task for the next 3 days. You need to get that journal. You need to start writing your thoughts down. You need to start thinking over your why, and you need to send me that email. After you do that, type out a comment done in the YouTube comments box, and I will immediately try to check that email and get back to you as soon as possible. That's your task. So like this video, again share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so for more amazing videos like this. See you in the next video, and remember, I am very excited to see your responses. I'm very excited to see your emails, and I am very excited to connect with you. Let's do that. Let's rock the world, and let's make this world, let's make our creation a better place. Bye. See you in the next video.